Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. We're going to continue going on with the Awakening set, so here we are with Return of the Jedi. Blue Hero event, costs 1 resource. Add a blue event from your discard pile to your hand. So it's very simple. If you have a blue event in your discard pile, pay 1 resource, play Return of the Jedi, and get that card back. You can get back a card that you played earlier, so Return of the Jedi lets you essentially use the same event multiple times, or if it's an event you were forced to discard on a somebody made you mill, you could use Return of the Jedi, get that back. Or if you had an event that wasn't quite useful when you had it in your hand, you could discard it to reroll, hopefully get better results, and then later in the game, Return of the Jedi, get it back and actually play it, or use it again for another reroll. But that's Return of the Jedi. We're going to move into the next card. Alright, now we have Riposte, another blue hero event. It costs 0. Remove any number of shields from one of your characters, then deal damage to a character equal to the number of shields you just removed. I use this in my Rey and Qui-Gon deck, because Qui-Gon is always getting shields on him. This is a good way to basically just turn shields into damage. So if you have 3 shields on Qui-Gon, play Riposte. Remove as many shields as you want, but let's say you remove all 3 of them, that's 3 damage. If you need 3 damage to win the game and Qui-Gon's got 3 shields, you don't even have to have any dice rolled out to actually do damage with this. You just play this, remove your shields, and do your damage. So it's a nice way to just get damage out, especially if you have a deck built around getting shields, like you're using defensive stance or take cover to get more shields, or if you're running blue-red and you have dug in, um, you can probably afford to get rid of some of your shields to deal damage. So that's Riposte. Very good card especially with Qui-Gon. Excellent card with him. So we're going to move into the next card. And now we are on Willpower, 1 resource. Move 1 damage from one of your exhausted characters to an opponent's exhausted character, and it ignores shield, so it's unblockable damage. This works very well if your opponent is shielded up and they only have like 1 health left. You just use Willpower, move a damage onto them, and win the game if that's their last character, or it's easy way to defeat a character. One thing though is both the characters that you are using this on, the character that the damage is coming off of, and the character that the damage is going onto, have to actually be exhausted and they either rolled out, have dice in the pool, or you've resolved all the dice. So basically, you can't do it on a readied character. They both have to be exhausted. But 1 resource for 1 damage, that's a little bit high, but the nice thing is it's unblockable damage, and you can use it to essentially heal your character in a way, because you're moving 1 damage off of it. So if you're at, let's say, 6 damage on a character, you can go down to 5 damage, and that 6 damage gets peeled off and goes onto your opponent, or your opponent's character. However, they do both have to be exhausted. But that's Willpower. We're going to move into the next card. Alright, now we are on Jedi Council. This is a support. It's unique, so you can only have 1 of it out. You can still have 2 in your deck, but only 1 in play at a time. Costs 2 resources. As an action, you can exhaust it to look at the top 2 cards of a player's deck, and then you may discard 1 of those cards and have that player draw the other. This works very well in Mill. You can use it in Blue Mill, so if I exhaust this, I can look at the top 2 cards of an opponent's deck, and I can say, like, okay, you're gonna, let's say they have 2 cards. 1 card is good, and the other card is not as good. You have them discard the card that's good, and have them draw the one that's not so good. For if you use it on yourself, because it just says a player, it doesn't state it has to be an opponent. You can basically look at the top 2 cards of your deck and say, okay, that card's really good, I'm going to keep it, or that card's really bad, I'm going to discard it. And then if you have if it's a blue event, you can also get it back with Return of the Jedi, or anything that lets you get stuff out of your discard pile. So it lets you look at your deck and take something good. It also lets you look at your opponent's deck and have them take something bad and discard the other one. So I mean, it does cost 2 resources. That's kind of expensive because you only get 2 resources a turn. However, if you're running a good economy with enough resources, you should be able to get this out fairly quickly. If you had this in your opening hand, you can actually get it out without having to resolve any resource dice or anything like that. That is Jedi Council. We're going to look at the next card. And we are here on Awakening. This isn't a starter exclusive card. I believe it comes in the Ray starter. So, one resource, it's a support. As an action, exhausts this support to resolve one of your dice showing a modified side as if it was not modified. This doesn't let you resolve a chain, it only lets you resolve one die. But let's say you rolled out some good damage, your opponent removed your unmodified damage, so now you just have damage sides left. You can exhaust Awakening and get the effect of one of those modified dice as if it wasn't modified. So if this is +2, it essentially just becomes a 2 damage. But it only does it for one die, so you can't say I'm going to resolve this, this, and this, even though we're all the same. It only lets you resolve one of them. But it is nice in like decks with Ray because Ray has a lot of modified sides on her die that you might not be able to use normally without the unmodified sides. So Awakening will let you actually use those. That's Awakening. We're going to move into our next card. And the final card we're going to look at tonight is The Force is Strong. It's another support. When I first saw this card, I really didn't like it, but the more I looked at it, it looks better and better. I haven't actually played it. I don't actually have it in a deck. But one resource, as an action, you can exhaust the support and discard a blue card from your hand and play another copy of that card from your hand for free. That's pretty good because let's say you have 2 Luke Skywalker lightsabers and you only have one resource. You pay the one resource to get the Force is Strong into play, and then on a future action or a future part of your turn, you exhaust that, discard one of the Luke's lightsabers, and play the other for free. Also, if you have ways to get stuff out of your graveyard or out of your discard pile, like say like Starship Graveyard, you can get the other Luke Skywalker's lightsaber back, and you can then use that for a reroll. If somebody disarms you, you can play it again. However, if you get disarmed, you're not going to be able to use the Force is Strong because you need to discard a copy of the card to play the copy for free. So basically, you do need to have a hand that has a duplicate in it. So let's say you have just 2 lightsabers, can exhaust this, discard a lightsaber, play the other lightsaber for free. It's a nice way to get cards out for free, especially if you only need to get one of them out. Like let's say there's an event that you just need to play it once to potentially win the game, and you have both of them in your hand, you discard one of them, play the other, and then do the event and maybe win. So that's the Force is Strong. At first, I didn't really like it, but I think it's actually a better card than I thought it was. I might start running it in a couple decks where I'm running, like multiples of the same like event, like a lot of this says. Yeah, so discard is this a blue card? So you could be a blue event, it could be a blue equipment, or like a blue ability or a weapon or anything like that. As long as you have 2 of them in your hand, you discard one, play the other for free. That's pretty good. So that's going to be it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll be back again tomorrow. And I want to thank you for watching. And again, take care.